Welcome back, Scrapbookers. This is Katie Scott, and I have a new blog series and video series, a scrapbooking video series is devoted to. The new series is devoted to scrapbook design principles and rules. And so, right now, I'm focusing on the principle of emphasis. And one thing, like this, would be a good example of. There's no emphasis here. And this was just a printout that I printed out, I don't know, years ago. I don't even know what program I used, but it was just a silly picture of my son. And I think I had intended to cut this up and give it to different relatives. And it was just one of those things that I never got to. But it's the exact same picture 9 times. The program didn't use common margins, which would have been nice in between here. But that's an example of none of these photos are emphasized. Now, if you take another similar example, these are also some photos. I think I had these printed up out. I don't know, I want to say Walgreens, but I'm not really sure. But I didn't print them myself anyways. It was either Shutterfly or Walgreens. And so these are one photo of my daughter in wallet size form. I also ordered an 8 by 10 photo, so this would be a good example of emphasis. So if you were looking at this, if this was on a scrapbook layout, you would look at probably the largest photo first, especially if I kind of cropped it in there a little bit. So that's an example of emphasis by using size. Another way to do it, let's just see. Say we had more, I printed out, and these were all, I just happened upon these. These were little wallet size that I printed out, and I was using, like, I don't even know, it was a digital camera, but I think it was like the kind that you actually put the floppy disk in. They don't make those anymore. And so what I could do if I wanted to use emphasis with size is I could use this photo and then a few of these photos on a layout, and that would give me emphasis. I could also mix up, and I printed some of these out. These are more recent pictures. So if I wanted to use emphasis using color, well, if I wanted to, then I could use like this large photo with these, or I could emphasize the larger photo in black and white. I also printed out, I made this little collage in Picasa. I made it in color and in black and white. And then I could, like if I use this color photo with all of these, that you would definitely focus on this as the concept of emphasis. So if you have the inclination to play with some, what I would encourage you to do is take some photos and play with them, like print them out in black and white and color, and then print some of them out smaller than the others, and print some of them out larger so that you can have the opportunity to play with the concept of emphasis. So I have some photos here too that are in color and some in black and white. And these were seriously from a long time ago. So I'm going to be using some of these photos to demonstrate the concept of emphasis with size and color. So stay tuned. Usually I do these videos and they're just one big long video, but I think I'm going to, I'm not really sure. I was going to pause, but I'm not so sure that I'm going to. The one other thing I wanted to say was, it would be interesting too to look at if you used black and white on a colorful background, or what happens when you look at a black and white on a black and white background. Contrast that with black and white background with a colorful layout. So let's just, this is a piece of paper, or 2 pieces of paper from Studio Calico from the same line. So there's where I have black and white on a colorful background paper and a colorful layout, or colorful picture. Let me just grab a different picture here. There's a different picture. There's a colored picture and a black and white picture. Color on black and white, and then contrast, black and white on black and white, and color on color. So play with those and play with the size, and I will be back to create a layout using emphasis by size. Hey Scrapbookers, I'm back. I'm testing out stopping and starting again, so I don't really remember what I said before. But this is Katie Scott, and this is an example. I'm exploring the topic of emphasis, and this time I'm using emphasis, and the technique I'm using to achieve emphasis is size. So this would be an example of something that did not use emphasis. Again, these are all printed out the same size, but then if I mixed one of these with one of these, then I would have some emphasis. So I just came across a bunch of these old photos. So what I did is took the other of this photo. Look at how cute. And then I paired it up with a bunch of wallets. So I've already done the job of just trimming those out. So this is an example of using size to convey emphasis. If I took this photo away and just had these three photos on the layout, then, and just let's do them dead center, it would be hard to know which one to focus on. Maybe the middle one, maybe this one because it's more in focus than this one is. But if we then take this photo and put it in the middle there, then we know absolutely this is the one that we're supposed to look at. So what I'm going to do is mat this one and not mat the others the same. So I'm going to take this piece of orange paper, but I'm going to use it twice. So I'm going to use it as a white mat, and then I'm going to use it on its color side as an orange mat. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive on there, and then oops, this adhesive is stronger than I'm used to. So I have to be kind of precise about where I put things. And then I will trim this. Let's see if this works. Oh. What I want to happen is for all of the edges to be the same. So one way, if I cut it wrong like I just did, if the adhesive is not that aggressive, when in this case it kind of is, but I can kind of just reposition it so the margins are more even. And then let's see if I did that okay. But now I don't know if I've totally sacrificed my what I was intending to do. Okay. I kind of did, because now I don't have one that's larger. Oh, I've annoyed myself. Okay, so the lesson there is if you do this, cut out the biggest one first. So I definitely mixed that up. So one thing I can do to fix that is I'll use this sheet. Oh. What not to do in scrapbooking, right? But these videos I really do, I plan them sometimes a little bit, but they're not hyper planned out. So I do want you to see me make mistakes and see me carry on with it anyways. So what I'm going to do is just trim the photo down a little bit. It's still going to be larger than the other photos. I don't really, I actually, even though the date is on there, I kind of want to keep it on there because it's part of that time period. So I trimmed off a little bit off the bottom because it was just dead space down there. But I'm just going to trim a tiny bit off the side here. Hopefully I did not completely mess that up. Okay, it's all right. So now, out of that leftover white, the opposite side of this, now I can make a smaller mat. So let's try this again. So I've adhered it down. Put the little thing right back in there. And now I'm trying to pay close attention to how much of a border I'm giving that. Okay, I think I've done a little bit better job. So that's going to be the matted photo. Although I really wanted the diagonals to go the opposite direction. But what are we going to do? So this was the paper that I had intended to use. And I wanted the diagonals to go like that, but they don't. So I'm just going to live with it. Now, this is what it would look like if we use that as a mat over the whole thing, but I think what I want to do is use the white side of this. Let's just see if that works. So this picture is going to go here, and what you're getting is very subtle because I'm using the opposite side of that white paper. There is a very subtle, you can sort of see the stripes. But once I put the photos over it, I don't think you'll be able to see the stripes. So the next thing I think I want to do is trim this. Well, I could trim that, or I could, yeah, I think I do want to trim it. So I'm going to put these photos down, and I think they're going to be what's called full bleed, which means they go to the very edge of the paper. Let's just see how that works. Oh, it sort of doesn't. So there's going to be just a very tiny space in between. So I am going to, I'm breaking my rule of common margins here. There's just going to be a tiny little space. And now I do want to be kind of precise about getting all of those lined up. So what I really need is a ruler up here, and I don't have one handy. So one cheat that I could probably use is, how about if I just lined it up like this, see? And then the tops of my photos are just going to be lined up. I just want to make sure that I'm getting that straight in there. So here's a little cheat that you can use. Whoops. It's going to go almost to the edge, but not quite. And then just a tiny little space in between. And those should be lined up now. And there is a larger border above and below. And I'm going to want to keep the top border and the bottom border about the same. And I'm sure this would all be much easier if I measured everything, except that adds time and doesn't add any fun. So I think actually the top is a little bit larger than the bottom border. So I just want to trim that a tiny, tiny bit. And that's something that would be more difficult on a guillotine cutter, but is better on this kind of a cutter. So here we go. So the layout is going to look like this. And what I really want to emphasize on this photo are his eyes. So let's get this stripped down. Now this stuff is like serious. It's like Dari's permanent. It means business. It really does. It seems quite permanent. So I think if I was paying attention more carefully when I bought that adhesive, I would have chosen the repositionable. Ugh, I really don't like these things. One, because they make that horrible sound, and two, I use the tabs, but they are kind of faster, I think. So here's the layout. Let me get this. Let me see if I can work this hideous thing. God, it just sounds miserable, doesn't it? Blah. Okay, so I kind of want his eyes to be right in the center there. So this is my example of emphasis using size. Now, let's go ahead and embellish this puppy. And I thought it would be cute to have this going along the bottom. This is just a transparency, and I think it's by KI Memories. So let's just see how this looks. And I have no idea how I'm going to adhere this. So this would just be smile, 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 smile. I don't like it, actually. I was thinking of just using it on this, but I think it looks like, it almost looks like miles. So see if I can just pop this up just a little bit, because it might look better if it was just a little bit top heavy, so that word wasn't covering up so much. And I think I don't like I can notice the uneven cuts of this, which would be fine, but I just don't like it on this layout, so I think what I'm going to do is cut it with the cutter to make it more straight. Let's see if this helps. Or let's see if this even cuts. I have no idea. I think I won this sheet at a 2 peas in a bucket. Some kind of a like National Scrapbooking Day contest. Okay, I think I have that pretty straight. Okay, I don't know if that's cutting it or not. I think, you know what's happening is the little gems are making it so I can't get my cutter down on there. But I do now have a straight line that, well, I did. I had one. Let's see if I can try that again. The gems are actually preventing me from being able to cut this. Oh, yeah, that's just not... Oh, it sort of did it. It's not perfect though. Which is fine, but when you have a straight, when you want to have a very straight line, I don't know. It's not. Let's see how 2 of them look. I'm not convinced yet. So this is how one looked, and there was no gems on that. I actually like the gems, and I think I ruined that one. Okay, here we go. I'm just freehanding it, but I'm trying to be very straight. Just completely wrecking it. Okay. I just want one line, but I would like to include the gems, the line with the gems. Whoops. Oh, almost got it. Let's see how this looks. I'm still not convinced, but I'm just going to leave it there and not adhere it and see how I feel about it. I wish this were interactive and you could tell me what you think about it, but it's not. So here we go. I think that the caption. So these are snapshots, and I can even emphasize this photo a little more if I do the photo corners on it. Let's see, I almost want to do them behind. Let's see how they look on the top. So I'm really emphasizing this big photo. And the reason why I'm emphasizing the big one is because he's actually smiling in that one. Looks like he's about 2 months old in this picture. Oops. And now he's 11. He's going to be 12 in a couple months, so can you believe it? Okay, so there we go. And we have, what else can I do on here? Got this snapshots. I don't really think I want to use that. Oh, I also have all of these little things, like a strip of, yeah, that would work. That'll kind of draw attention to the other photos, but I kind of think it will also draw attention to his eyes. Let me just take this away. This smile, I like the sentiment, but I'm not really sure it's working for this page. So all of these are this is 7 Gypsies, and it's just a strip of words. Not all of them really show me teeth. He didn't have teeth yet. They don't all really apply. Let's see. But I kind of like the way this looks. Show me teeth. Show me gums, it should say. Let's see. So here we go. Okay, I think I like that better than the smile, smile, smile. Although, yeah, it just feels too forced. I don't think it's gonna work. That one. So here we go. I like that better, and I think that I want to make my title be in black. And I almost want it to say "got it," like I got the shot. Or there it is. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm just going to go with got it, or gotcha. Let's see. And I'm placing these very lightly because these photos I think I printed at home, and the paper tends to be quite sticky, so it's hard to reposition things. So this is an example of using emphasis, using size for emphasis. that looks pretty good. Not completely awesome, but yeah, I'm not completely loving it, the placement of that, but they're stuck down, and part of my philosophy is to just keep going. Okay, so got it. Snapshots of, and that's where I might use this. Snapshots. I almost want to layer the got it over the snapshots. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. No. That looks horrible. Okay, I pretty much hate the placement of my title. But I've got this diagonal thing going on, so I'm wondering if I can do like the snapshots up here. I don't know. This is a... Well, who knows if that's good or not. I kind of hate it because it seems dark on this light and airy page. I feel like I should have gone with a lighter color, but I'm just gonna keep going, even though so he was born in February 2002, so February, March, April, he's almost like, he's 2.5 months here, and then I also have this thing, Candids. Nobody was hurt. Well, this, I don't know. Always shoot on the sunny side. Oh, epic fail. No. I'm just gonna write, my well-documented baby. Got it. Or how about your, and this is like a fairly obvious title, your adorable smile at 2.5 months. A lot of times I'll spell my words backwards just to get the placements, but I think I'm going to be okay. Adorable. So I thought I would just go back to basics with design principles. And I'm not a graphic designer or anything special like that. I've just been a scrapbooker for a long time, and I know a little bit about design, but not a lot. And but I think that we can always, it's fun to learn things, and so one of the ways you can really learn something is by doing it, and a better way to learn something is by teaching it. So that's what I'm up to. Is I'm just trying to kind of concrete the design principles in my head by using them and showing you what I'm up to. So you're adorable. Oops, it should have said smile at So that word smile is just going to go, I wonder if I can get that, this, your adorable smile. I might be able to fit that in there. Like here. I don't know. I don't think that really looks good. Ugh. I really want to use these and I just don't seem to be able to get them in the right place. Your adorable smile at 2.5 months. I'm again using these letter stickers from Tim Holtz, and I still like them. Except I really am running out of certain letters, and I think that's annoying. So there are a lot of letters in this letter sticker pack, but I still like run out of, I'll show you. I still run out of like the high volume letters, so like the P's and Q's are left over, as are the Z's and the V's, and the G's and the J's. And then all, you know, you just kind of see like the same ones get, like the A's, the E's, although I have some there, the T's get used up quickly. Your adorable smile at 2 months. I wish they had like some symbols in here, but I think I'm just going to have to spell it out. 2 and... Sorry, this is probably taking a long time. I think what I'll do is I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to stop the tape, and then I will, I'm going to start it back up again when I'm working on the finishing embellishments. Okay? Okay, welcome back. I am just ready to put on my final embellishments, and what I think I'm going to do is just extend this. This is kind of like a column, so it's sort of like a cross design with a diagonal going on in the background, which seems like a lot of stuff, but everything is leading to his photo, or at least I hope that's what it's doing. So I just have some little Teresa Collins. These were from a cut apart sheet that was kind of like a already done. What do you call it? I don't know what you call those. Like a punch out. They were, you just like kind of pop. They were already perforated is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just putting adhesive onto the backs of them, and they're going to go right up there at the top to continue this column here. And then what I'm going to do is just, sometimes you can just see the perforations a little bit, so I'm just cutting those off. Let's see. These need to get cut off a little bit too. And even though this is, like, I haven't done a lot of journaling on the page, it's kind of like, I don't know, about the only thing I could say would be, you know, I used to take your picture a lot, and it got easier, and this was fun, and you always make me laugh, and I always make you laugh when we do these sort of things. So I probably should write all that, and then what I want to do is put a little something right here. You know what I think might be cute is like a pink circle, because it'll kind of look like a flash, I hope. So I actually brought this is the one where somebody gave this to me at a scrapbooking yard sale. Let me see if I can work that in. And that will be a different, you know, shape than all those flowers in the background. But that will be like a contrasting thing too. So hopefully that will tie in with the emphasis. I think that will be, this one's slightly too large. I'm going to go to the next size down. That will do it, but since I have both of these little things, I'm going to just cut both of the sizes out. So what you do, if you don't have one of these things, is you basically just make a little sandwich. So I'm putting the paper down, and then these things, and then hopefully this will work. It doesn't feel like it's going to work because it feels like there needs to be something bigger in here. I need an extra one of those plates. Huh. I don't have one. Well, darn it. Okay, so perhaps I need to buy one of those little, like an extra little plate thing to make that be thicker. But in the meantime, I do have this available. This is also a quick cuts thing that if you can pick these up at the scrapbooking garage sales for $1 or free. Like, people just don't really use them anymore, but they are still pretty awesome. So let's see. There's like, that's magnetic. Let's just see if oh, it's almost perfect. There we go. So I got my shape, and that worked. What I could do too is if I wanted to make a little circle, I think I can do that with this punch. I'm just putting these back in, and I guess I know what I need to do now. Sometimes it's good to get some of your tools out and just use them to make sure it's possible. So let me just, I'm using that same orange paper, see if I can. Now I have this little pink shape, and it's the only place that it's going to appear on the layout. But I can put this little camera on it, and yeah, I kind of like that. And then I think I will be about done with my experiment in the world of emphasis by using shape. So I didn't get that completely centered. Kind of wanted to go here. And if I had some pop dots, I think pop dots are always helpful. I could have used them on the backs of some of these. I just don't have any. That's one excuse to get to the craft store. But for now, I'm just going to use what I have. So this just says, look. And so, in case you didn't get it from the size, I've got everything, like the size of the photo should give you the clue that that's the one to look at. But also, the way that I've used the background paper, this diagonal, his face is right in the middle of that. His face is at the top of this strip going across the side and smack dab in the middle of that. And then if you kind of look at these as your visual triangle of embellishments, you know, if you just include the title and all the stuff at the top, then the place that you're going to look, the place where all those things meet is right here, where I want you to look. So that is an example of emphasis using size. Okay. I'm going to merge these 3 videos together, and hopefully that will work. And my blog is called Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking for Keep It Simple, Super Simple, and Tell Your Story Scrapbooking. I'm Katie Scott, and thank you for watching.